Hey, good evening, everyone. I hope that you're doing well um, and thriving. The most interesting thing today happened so very randomly. So I got a late start today because I had hosted some friends yesterday evening, and then another friend came late. So I was like drinking wine and up, and I like to sleep in on Sundays anyway. But so I finally got myself together, got dressed. I needed to pick up an electronic that I had ordered online. I needed to go pick that up, and then I was gonna take some stuff back to the store. So we're just driving along, la la la, la, and then we're getting ready to pull into the electronics store. And then my daughter was like, I want to change my name. Like she doesn't want her last name anymore. And I'm like, so what name do you want? She's like, I want your name. I was like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, I do. And she started to say her first name and my last name and laughing and giggling. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. Ask and ye shall receive. And so, um, I was thinking about looking into that anyway. But, now that she's requested it on her own, I mean, she's a very young person, very young one to be asking for that. But I mean, I'll do it. I mean, for me, it's just going to basically, um, put some fire under me to get it done, at least do the research and see how much it's going to cost. Um, my only concern with that is that I was thinking about changing my name too, because honest to God, I do not want my biological father's last name. I mean, he's pretty much like a narcissistic sociopath, psychopath, excuse me. And so I really don't want to be associated with him. And there's so much toxicity on that side of the family. Like I don't I don't have any real ties with them. And it was already pretty strained before I had my daughter, but once I had my daughter, you know, my stance on pedophilia became of course, much more strict because I don't want to be with around pedophilic sympathizers. My thing is like if you sympathize with pedophiles, I don't want to be around you and I don't want my child around you. So that family's filled with people who are sympathetic towards abusive people as well as pedophiles, domestic violence offenders, and everything else. They really do sweep a lot of things under the rug and tolerate a lot. And I just don't, I have no desire to be around any of that. Zero desire. So once I had my daughter, everything became so much more estranged for me and that side of the family and continues to be. And so I really just don't see any point in myself even having that name. Like it just I'm not interested in that. So that's my only dilemma, or that would be my only like, I guess, slowness in making a decision about what the name should be because I don't even want the name. She just wants the same name as me, but I don't even want that name. I don't even want my dad's name. I don't want to have I've been no contact with this guy for over 7 years. Like, I don't have any contact with him at all. So, he contacts me, but I never answer. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, shout out to Call Me Coco, who's definitely, brought up this idea on her channel. And, um, I've listened to the videos about that, and I've listened to them. I was in private, so it's not that my daughter overheard the video. And I've never ever talked about changing her name with her, to her. I've never talked about any of it. I've never disparaged her dad's name in front of like ever. or disparage his family. So literally she literally came up with this idea on her own, on a whim. I mean, I don't know if she's been thinking about this or if it's just something that popped in her head today and she shared it with me. So, you know, children are free thinking people and they know what they want to do. They have an idea about um, how they want to spend things, and also, like, she has an experience of her father, um, independent of I've it's not that I would need to disparage him or anything like that because she knows he's inconsistent. She knows he doesn't provide anything. She knows he's, spending time with another woman's children. I think she subconsciously knows that, you know. And I know when I was younger and I would see my dad doing that, I felt not good enough when I was younger and he would spend time with his girlfriend's kids. But now that I'm an adult and I know how Dusties work, Dusties endear themselves to people's children to secure a place to live. So that was really what was going on. And that's what's happening with her dad. He doesn't give a shit about these kids, his girlfriend's kids or wife's kids or whatever she is. He doesn't care. He just needs a place to live. So if he has to put up with her children to secure an apartment, then that is exactly what he will do. But she knows that subconsciously. He's somewhere playing house. I mean, she knows that. She's too young to articulate that, but she knows how that feels. And I think that her wanting to change her name has everything to do with her just feeling more like just not wanting to be involved. And then, in fact, today we came home and I made her dinner. She turned on her tablet and he had called, and I'm like, "Well, do you wanna call him back?" And she was just like, "No, not right now, I'm watching my show." I was like, "Okay." I'm not gonna force her to do anything that she doesn't want to do. So that was her decision. She didn't wanna call him back, that's her prerogative. It's not my choice. I'm not gonna force her to do anything that she doesn't wanna do. Well, I will force her to brush her teeth and take a bath. She may not always wanna do that. So I will force her to do certain things, but I won't force her to call him if she doesn't want to call him. That's her business. Wow, we have similar backgrounds. I've been thinking about a name change too. Both of my children have my last name, but I don't even want it. Yeah, girl, I don't want my last name. My biological father is a psychopath, and I mean, I literally cut him off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cut him off. I'm in the process of cutting my family, his whole family off. It's just like, I don't not like my grandmother. I just, you know, she is ultra mammy. You've heard of super mammy. She's ultra mammy. She has created an environment for so like she's she, to this day, like the last time I talked to my grandmother about my biological father's like dealings, she just denies everything. Like she makes up excuses for his piss poor behavior. I mean, I don't even know how. I couldn't even explain how she does it, but she makes so many excuses. And this is part of the reason why all of her male children are failures. Now, I would really have to trace that back to her mother, but I think her grandmother was a product of an enslaved rape situation. Like, so that would be my great great grandmother, I want to say, was like a biracial um product of like a plantation situation. So there's that. And then I just don't think they have a lineage of like marriage. But um she just had this demeanor that was very docile and naive, and she just never outgrew it. She never outgrew it. So she just constantly got taken advantage of by really scrupulous individuals. Um, And I think it started from like from youth, and she just carried on with that forever. And I don't know. It's just so much dysfunction. It's a naivety. Naivete. I can't say the word. It's a certain level of naiveness. It's not really the word naivete. What's the word? But that has just like allowed her or forced her or compelled her to really like I just no self-worth at all. She was a light-skinned woman who did not use her light skin privilege. Okay? She did not use her light skin privilege. She did not secure marriage ever. And when I look at my biological father's father, ew. And I looked up some of his descendants. They're totally gross. Just gross. Just ghetto. Ghetto. So I don't know. I don't think I want that name. I just don't want any of that. Like I just spiritually cut myself off from it, physically cut myself off from it. I just don't want to have anything to do with them. It doesn't benefit me in any way to be like associated with them, like at all. It doesn't benefit me at all. I can't think of anything beneficial from it. At least on my other side, like I knew my great grandmother definitely have the better genes on the other side, on the matrilineal side. And those genes actually dominate like my physical appearance and everything like that. So, yeah, I just don't see any value in keeping that name. I just can't see the reason why. Yeah. Anyway, that's a big decision, so it's ongoing, but my daughter has spoken. She wants to change her name, so I will make that happen. We will, I'm going to look into it. I knew someone who did that actually. They changed their child's name. Um and I know it's easier to do in certain jurisdictions. It's easier to do that like before they reach a certain age. It's easier to do the proceedings. So at the very least, I can just do the groundwork to see what is the age and then like what is the paperwork I need to do, because I know you do have to go through the court. You do have to present yourself in front of the judge and let the judge know why you want to change the name. And as long as it's nothing crazy, it should be granted. Now, of course, with me as an adult, it's going to be harder because you have your credit report, you have your criminal background, you have your um, what else do you have? Like your driving record, insurance records, you have all the social security, you have a lot of stuff. I was just like gonna wait until I got married and then just get my husband's last name, but I might need a name in the interim. I don't know, y'all. It's kind of a mess. Let's see here. Hi, I just saw that you were live. Coco had a very thought-provoking live about this very subject. Yes, if I find that video, I will link it in here because Call Me Coco has talked about this a couple of times. And that's what I was saying earlier. I I've listened to her videos, or at least in part, and I listened to them in private. So there's absolutely no way my daughter could have overheard me listening to the video. So she came up with this on her own. But yeah, Calming Coco has definitely touched on this topic. And I think it's something that we need to continue to talk about um, as women grapple with this question. Those who have children or who maybe who are pregnant and haven't yet given birth, because it would behoove them to have this information about what name you give your child and having some continuity in your household so that your child feels a sense of belonging. Because it is much more, I think, blatant the abandonment, when your child has a constant reminder that they've been abandoned because they have this name of this person who isn't um, involved. They're not picking them up from school. They're not coming to sports. They're not involved with PTA. They're not coming to, um, youth sport games and after school programs. And it just becomes a constant reminder for the child. So I think that this is a very practical matter. I definitely don't come from a place of shaming women about what choices they make or don't make. But I like to come from things from the approach of being practical and giving women tools and options and also giving them like information to consider. Like, this is an important matter to consider what would work for you and your household. And if you decide to go down this route, I'm definitely open to share some things that I learn along my journey as I look into changing my child's name. But just to be the practical, just to share the advice of like, where can you get these resources? Where should you start? If this is something that you want to consider, where should you start? Maybe in your county or jurisdiction, so that you can get the application or look up what the requirements are to actually start the name change process. Because a similarly related issue is the issue of being on the birth certificate. It is the issue of um, child support and involving family courts. And this becomes particularly very important when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist. If you have a child with a malignant narcissist, you really have some really tough decisions to make, because you have to really weigh the amount of money, especially if the person is like chronically unemployed or underemployed and you're getting like less than $1,000 a month. You have to think about, do you want the court to tell you and force you to deliver your child to an unsafe environment every other week, or pardon me, yeah, every other week. So basically 2 to 3 times a month, because the court said so, and you can be held in contempt of court. So you have the court making a decision about what your child should do, and you're doing all of that for less than $1,000 a month. I think it becomes really important to really consider, like, make a chart of the pros and cons of child support. And it's not that you aren't due financial support and you shouldn't have it, because you should, but also look at what's really happening. Like, who did you create this child with, and are they safe? Not just physically safe, but emotionally safe for your child. You know, if your child were to emulate every single thing that this person do, would you be satisfied with what came out on the other end? I think that's a good barometer to help guide those decisions as to, should you turn your child over to this person's care every other week. So, yeah, that may be a discussion for another day, but it's really important for mothers to consider this. Um, I got a lot of things wrong, but I pretty much knew from the first sonogram that this was a shit show, that it wasn't going to turn out to be anything. I knew that from that moment on. And so I did set myself up to avoid a lot of family court interference in my parenting, because for me personally, I've witnessed family court um not doing things in the interest of the child. And so I would prefer to be the one to be the last final say about my child. And so I set myself up for that. Now, I really did. I remember thinking about the whole name thing before I named her. It took me forever even to go file the birth certificate. But I thought and I thought and I thought about it. And I think, like, I was like, well, I don't want my dad's name. So I'll just give her dad's name, because why not? I mean, it was really kind of like, that's fine. It wasn't this deep, like, oh, it's his child. But it wasn't really that deep. It really, really wasn't. It was just, I just didn't want my dad's name. So I was like, that's fine. Her dad's name is better than my dad's name. I really just picked the least worst situation. But I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what was happening at the time. More MK says, "Hey everyone, this is something I definitely consider. My paternal grandmother named my father after her boyfriend because she was his bio dad mistress. So I've always wanted to change my last name." Girl, that's a whole word right there. Like these ladies, like, girl, girl, they just don't realize, like, listen, y'all, listen, ladies, we are in a global reckoning and we are doing the work that our grandmothers and great grandmothers should have done. Or making those tough decisions. You know, they didn't realize that how energetically and spiritually they were setting us up to, give us these names and lineages that were littered with so much dysfunction and the like. So, you know, pray on it, think on it, meditate on it, tap into your intuition about it, and see where it leads you. I might take my great grandmother's last name. I've thought about that. It's actually a German name. I'm gonna pray on that and see if that's the way I want to go. I'm gonna see about that. One of my cousins took my grandfather's last name because she didn't want her dad's last name. So she actually had her name changed as a very young person. She had her name changed. So, you know, it's worth thinking about. So, for those of y'all who are thinking about it, just know, like, you're not alone. There's other women grappling with these same questions. And yeah, it does make sense. She chose violence. I don't know which one that was. I had my mom's maiden name until I got married. Oh, awesome. Yep, that's what they do. Shaking my head, making excuses for them. Yep. If you're child support, he needs to sign over his rights. No one should have access to your baby without doing their job as a parent. Yeah, I agree. And it's like, it's even more than just like doing your job as a parent. It's just like doing your job as a parent. Yeah, being a parent and being a solid individual. Um, it's important. And there's other conversations we can have about guardianship and about setting up your will and your trust and getting your power of attorney and all of that in order, because when you have a child and the bio father isn't fit to raise the child, there are a plethora of guardianship issues that really need to be handled legally. And I do think that we're getting into a place as Black women, as we level up. I think that, we've been tethered, we've been anchored by, a very dysfunctional group of males that has really kept us in a state of um, just underachievement. But now that we're kind of, untethering ourselves and going for the best for ourselves, I think we're going to start just leveling up everything. Gone are the days of GoFundMe as a life insurance, right? And, back in the day, before there was GoFundMe, there used to be fish fries for people who didn't have life insurance. So they'd have fish fries and, go to church and collect money at the church and, during the time, the testimonies or whatever, and say, oh, such and such passed away, I need money. And it's like, we need to have these conversations about life insurance and getting wills and being prepared. And, you know, when you're a mother, when you become like everything gets sped up. Okay. Hypergamous millennial mom talked about that in her videos. You don't really you don't get to lollygag and him and haw about it for on and on forever. Like you have a little person that's depending on you, not only in life, but in death too. Just if something happens to you, they still are, if they're not yet fully function, like fully self-sufficient, they're still going to be depending on you. So that means you have to have your just in case situations all worked out to the best of your ability. I don't have my dad's last name yet. I still have a lot of his habits. Interesting. Oh, uh, N.R. Simmons says, your daughter's curbing her dad's call was violence. Yeah, she was just trying to watch her YouTube show, YouTube Kids. She was not trying to be bothered with him at all, girl. Not at all. I have a lot of his habits. Yeah, I hear you, girl. I thought I had some of my dad's habits too, but um, I don't know. Maybe some of the analytical thinking, I got that. I'll take the good, but I'll leave the bad. I will leave the bad because you know, I don't have a long history of being an abusive asshole. So in that sense, I didn't take after him. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and share the little one's epiphany today that she wants to change her name. So I will keep you all updated on the progress on that. The children, they are so amazing. They know what they want. And, we have a good communication, so she doesn't mind vocalizing. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. Unfortunately, that means that she asks for lots of stuff at the store. So ended up picking up stuff that I had no intention of getting. We can't get rid of their traits as easily as we can get rid of their name. Yeah, I think, yeah, when you have traits and you're trying to release some things and embrace other things, it can be challenging. But yeah, I don't really see myself having very much in common with that side of the family, and especially not, I just don't. I mean, and I don't really have very much in common with my mom's side either, but I at least have some close relationships on my mom's side, with my cousins, um, my aunts, you know. So, and it was just always weird. And I thought it was like because I was like the dad's daughter. You know how like women sometimes can be closer with their daughter's children more so than their son's children. But upon further reflection, no, it's not like that. Because there's other siblings who they're closer with. I think it's really more so about dysfunction. I think they bond over that. And also, just like, you know, they thought my mom was bougie. They thought my grandmother was bougie. And so they were in the projects, and my grandmother had a house. And so they just always kind of ostracized me a bit. You know what I mean? And I mean, I didn't know. I figured we were all poor. I mean, seriously. Like, yeah, my grandmother had a house, but it was a house in the hood. But to them, because it was like decked out inside, because my grandmother, she's always been a nice homemaker. She's always like nice stuff. She's just always been that way. She's just like, she likes like crystals and china and nice rugs, and we had furniture that we weren't allowed to sit on and that kind of a thing. Y'all know how it was in the 80s and 90s, with the plastic, and you couldn't sit down on it. It was just for people to look at it. That was my grandmother on my mom's side, right? Just very devout Kojic woman. And so they looked at us as being bougie, and so I always got treated different. I always got treated different on that side. And then the siblings with the mom who was like on welfare and stuff like that, because I never grew up on welfare. So I didn't have that. My mom worked. So we didn't have any type of public assistance. So the other side that was on public assistance, I think they felt more camaraderie with them and they kind of felt like they were on the same level. So those children were treated um, more lovingly than I was, you know. So, it is what it is. The dehydration plastic, that kind of plastic to where like it kind of stuck to your skin when you sat down on the furniture. And y'all remember though, I don't know if they still do this. Y'all remember those like little marble balls that they used to put in the little fake flower arrangements? Yeah, she used to have those too. And we would like try to take those marbles out and go shoot marbles. Did anybody shoot marbles as kids? I wonder if kids still do that. We used to do that. That was so much fun. Life before tablets, life before cell phones, right? My grandmother even had one of those rotary phones, the ones that you would like hit it and go all the way around. She had that phone for years and it still worked. Like back in the day, they used to make quality appliances that would last. I love that phone. And it was like literally like one phone in the house forever. It was one phone in like a common area forever with a long cord that you could kind of drag it around to different rooms. And y'all remember that cordless phone that used to be on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that gray phone, that gray cordless phone that every American had? That was my grandmother's first cordless. And I remember like the microwave, her getting the microwave and that cordless phone, like we were like the house on the block and the VCR, like we were like the house on the block with all the nice stuff. I wish she would have kept that phone. I wish she would have kept that phone. But yeah, so she always liked nice stuff. She always worked too, you know. She always worked. She had two jobs. She had a regular job and a little side hustle. She used to clean up for like wealthy white people. And I think that that really like shaped a lot of her aesthetic. So she was living in the hood, but she would go to these wealthy neighborhoods because she used to clean up for white people. And then eventually she became a house manager. So, she would like schedule pool cleanings and um, you know, she would be the manager. She would write checks to basically other service providers like people who did the lawn care, and she would pay bills, and she would do secretarial work and stuff like that. She did that for a while until she got married. So, sometimes whenever people that she was working for, like if they were gonna change out their decor, they might give her a vase or they might give her a rug or give her um china set or whatever, and then that it just grew from there. She just I don't know, she just always wanted more. And it's like, I don't know, we even got discriminated against within my own mother's side of the family of her sisters thinking she was bougie, you know, because like she really took she took Kojic to the limit. Did y'all watch the Clark sisters video movie? Because you will not really understand that movie unless you grew up Kojic. Like you will not get all the nuances. Like if you did not grow up Kojic, you're not gonna really understand the Clark sisters the way I understood the Clark sisters and the mama. Okay? Like you have to just know. If you know, you know. So my grandmother was very devout, very devout. She never dated, she never nothing. She was a widow, you know, and and that was that. She worked and she went to church and decorated and that was it. Oh yeah, definitely check out that video. I think it's on Lifetime, the Clark sisters. Really great music. Check out the Clark sisters movie. The my only criticism of the movie is I wish it were a series because there's just so much more that I wanted to know about each character. And like one of the sisters was like banished or something. I think she had a baby or something, and they didn't really follow her. She just kind of disappeared forever and then popped up at the end. So I would have loved to have like I would have loved them to follow her and see what she was doing, during that time that she was estranged from the family. I would have loved to know that. I don't know. I just wanted more. The movie just left me wanting more of those ladies. Oh, they have such beautiful voices. Like I don't even listen to gospel music like that, but I will listen to the Clark sisters, okay? Oh my gosh, N.R. Simmons says her maternal grandmother had a bougie gold and white rotary phone. Girl, ours was black. Our rotary phone was black. I love that phone. One time I had to call 911 on one of my crazy ass aunts. It was like nine, click, 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 one, click, 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 one. It took me forever to call 911. Oh my God. Y'all, when I tell you the 80s crack epidemic hit my family hard, oh Lord, it really did. I had to call 911 on my own aunt. I can laugh now about it, but when I was a child, I was scared, okay? I was scared. I'm just remembering calling 911 on the rotary phone. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Yeah, I guess I needed this laugh for today. Going down memory lane with y'all on a whim. In our said, haven't seen the movie, but I don't watch TV much. You brought oh my gosh, such a beautiful song. You brought the sunshine. You brought the sunshine. I love that song. They have such a, and then Is Your Living in Vain. Last time I saw my family, my aunt, she be gassing me up. She know good and well I cannot sing. She be gassing me up. I was singing Is My Living in Vain. She was like, girl, I didn't know you could sing. You can sing. I'm gonna tell Big Mama you can sing. I was like, you do not have to gas me up. You know good and well I can barely hold a tune. Stop. But she's like that. She's been gassing me up since I was a kid. Is My Living in Vain. That's one of my favorite Clark Sister songs. Seriously. Do you remember Calling the Time? Which song is that? I don't remember which one that was. Dang, be deader than disco waiting that long to die. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That was a mess. That was just one of those just girl, I have some stories. I feel like every major social ill that has plagued the black community. I mean, I've seen it like from the perspective of my own family, and definitely the whole crack situation. I mean, it hit both sides of the family really hard. Really, really hard. I forget the number for the actual time. My son doesn't believe it was a phone number. No, when you call a number to get the. Oh yeah, there was a number that you would call. It would tell you the time and it would tell you the weather. Gosh, I don't remember the number, but yeah, no, that was like a real thing. We didn't have cell phones. Like we didn't even have computers. So if you wanted to get the time, you wanted to get the weather, yeah, there was literally a number that you would call. You better let him know that you telling him the truth. Like I'm here to back you up. Like that was a legit a number. I remember calling that number. Yeah, I remember that, Nisha. These children have it good. They have their little cell phones and their tablets. Shoes. I remember getting a pager back in the day when pagers. I remember getting the two-way, girl. I remember the flip phone. I remember the infamous Nokia phone. Girl, we have seen so much in our little lifespan. It's crazy. It's just amazing, what we have seen. N.R. Simmons says, yes, calling the time, trying to pretend you had to call it home or pay phone job. Oh, girl, I remember trying to look important, right? Like, I remember, like, when your parents would drop you off and you had to, like, have a quarter. And then I remember, y'all remember when it went from a quarter to 35 cents? And so like to use the payphone and you like had to like not spend that money, even though you could have used that 25 cents to buy candy and you would have to like try to be disciplined to like keep the 25 cents. Like, dang, if I don't keep this 25 cents, I might need to call my mom, but I really want to buy some bubble gum. Oh man, this is like a big decision. This is a big decision. Because it was hard to hold on to that quarter. It was hard because you had to call at the right time because God forbid you call and the answer machine pick up and you lose the 25 cents. So you need them to answer the phone. Man, children do not know our struggle that we used to have. We have seen so much. We went from rotary phones and pay phones to having little mini computers in our phones. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, y'all. Okay, I might come back online later. We'll see. I would like to. I want to talk about narcissism, um female narcissism. I still owe you ladies a story time, but I think there's something a little bit more pressing that we should discuss as far as a female narcissist revealing her tactics and all of that jazz, and what to do to navigate that. And y'all, when I tell y'all, we're gonna have to do some healing and some coming to, peace moments uh, within this space because of the mask is all the way off. And so now it's about moving forward. It's about understanding what's happening, understanding and seeing what's happening. Don't let yourself be gaslit into something else. Like, no, no, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So I don't need you to explain away your bad behavior, consistent bad behavior over time. No, your bad behavior, it's bad. And so, no, I can't condone this. And so we need to talk about it. We might need to have to talk about it a few times, but we need to talk about it, y'all. N.R. Simmons says, no one believes me, but I used to be able to go to the corner store and buy cigs and beer before the laws changed in the 80s. Yeah. Oh, N.R. Simmons, do you remember buying the little the little candy cigarettes from the what do you call it, the ice cream truck? I remember back in the day, they used to have like powder. They used to have like it was like powdered sugar or something at the end of the candy. So you would get the little candy and you would blow it and it would look like smoke was coming out. They were like candy cigarettes. So like literally the tobacco industry was like already getting children like ready to smoke cigarettes. Now eventually that was banned, but when I was a kid, I remember buying them from the ice cream truck. I remember buying them. But yeah, you like your uncle could send you to the store to buy him a pack of cigarettes, or like your granny could, whoever, your auntie could send you to the store to buy a pack of cigarettes and some beer. Wasn't a big deal. Like they didn't card or anything. And like when I was like pretending I was grown and I was in high school, I would go I like my same hood that I grew up in, like when I wanted to buy like beers, I would just go to that same hood. Like I would leave the suburbs, go to the hood, to the corner store inside the hood, and I would buy wine coolers because I thought I was grown, and I never got carded. So yeah, I was like kind of taking advantage of the situation. I enjoy your content. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you, Nisha. I really appreciate every single one of you subscribers. I may be biased, but I think I have the best subscribership on YouTube. You ladies are sharp, you're positive, you're informative, you support one another, you're really good at ignoring trolls. Um, Everyone seems to be leveling up on some way or another. You ladies are very intelligent, you're articulate, you are supportive, not just of me, but of each other. And so I legit think you guys are the best. Seriously. I'm so over the BS right now. Yeah, I think that we need to kind of move towards, I think we need to move towards processing it and just kind of like coming to peace with it as opposed to exposing this person, exposing. Like, okay, sure. I think everything's been exposed at this point. So I think it's a matter of processing through what's happening so that way, I so that way we can move forward. And I think I do feel bad for the subscribers, for the hardcore people who are feeling really disillusioned. They're feeling led astray. They're feeling that they've been taken for granted. I mean, they're feeling a lot of things. And so, I have been in a similar situation with a narcissistic leader. And so, it took me really years to like come out of the fog, just depending on how devoted you are. If you're really, really devoted, it can take time. It can take time to come out of the fog of that. So, I have compassion for those ladies. Hi, Paisley. Welcome to the gang gang. Welcome to Afrocentric Woman Gang Gang. I hope you enjoy it over here on this side of YouTube. We try to keep it fun, keep learning. And I don't know, I have a couple of polls on the community tab. So definitely check out the polls because I'm trying to see where people are and also what are you liking thus far. So, I can think about what kind of content to curate for the future. Child, I'm walking down the street by myself with illegal loot. Oh, Maureen K said she was telling her nephew about the Nokia phone, and somehow Snake had me in a chokehold. Oh my gosh. Yep. More MK remembers the candy cigarettes. Girl, we was all kinds of wrong back then. Like there was like no government oversight. There needs to be a shift. Everyone needs to refocus and place themselves on the same pedestal they've put these people on. Yes, Ashe. I like that, more MK. I absolutely believe it. Everything that I said in my original video, I took a lot of flack for that. I lost a lot of subscribers when I created that video, but I kept it up because I believe what I said, and I just had to just stand in it. I said what I said and I just had to stand in it. I didn't take the video down. It's still there and a lot of the things that had a hunch about, I was right. I had a hunch about them and I was right. And so, I regained new subscribers after that and then some people were irritated with me but they didn't unsubscribe. But they were irritated with me because I'm a newer face and I don't even have a face. I'm a newer voice. And then they're more devoted to that other person. So they felt extremely perplexed and, conflicted. Like, you're criticizing this person that I've been devoted to for the past several years, yet uh, I like your content. So, some of those people kind of estranged themselves from me a little bit, but didn't necessarily unsubscribe. But they may come around now that some of the things that I was talking about have become a bit more apparent. So who knows? We'll see. I, I don't fault anybody for any which way they want to go. You know, it's all, I'm at peace with whatever. And connection is is something of free will, you know, and so it's a free will thing, you know. You'll connect here and you'll stay connected based off of your free will and free thinking. You know, I promote free thinking over here. I don't want anybody to believe what I say because I said it and I'm the the grand wizard, you know, white people whisperer. No, I would, you know, if I'm giving a suggestion, I'll tell you. I just did a video the other day saying that a lot of the stuff I'm saying is a hypothesis. It's a theory. It's a theory. Like I'm telling you, hey, sometimes if you get a wig, this is gonna work. And you're gonna, okay, if you dress like this, okay, if you get your makeup professionally done, okay, take your pictures like this, okay, do this, okay, if have a conversation like this, okay. I'm saying all of that, you should be reaping results in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like it should produce results. And then that's going to be the determinant of if it works or not. And I would say try different things, but don't take my word for it. I'm telling you, it is a hypothesis. Even on dating, some people like, "Oh, you know, I want to find it all and I want love first and I want to find my best friend." And I say, "I don't really think that works." But you try your way and see how it goes. See if you end up in a 50-50 relationship. See if you end up being the ride or die chick. See if you end up being a masculina. See if that works. Or if you say, I'm going to look for resources and I'm going to look for security and I'm going to build love after. Okay, well, let's try that. Hey, I'll let you know what happens long term. I'll let you know. In the meantime, last weekend I was on 3 luxury dates and went shopping, and I've had 2 nice dates this week. And that same gentleman already booked dinner reservations for this 5-star restaurant for this coming week. And then this other guy is coming in town and he booked reservations on Tuesday for a 5-star restaurant. So listen, I, I'm saying that what I'm saying is working for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going on nice dates. I'm getting treated like a princess. But, you know, you'll have to try and implement some stuff inside of your life and see if it works. See if I'm full of shit. Try me. Try it out. Maybe I'm full of shit. But I think that if you implement some of these things, you too will be at 5-star restaurants, whining and dining and popping bottles of champagne. That's what I think. But, you know, it's a theory until you implement it in your life. I be dodging dust, girl. I had to dodge some dust today. Dusty ass. I started to tell him, I'm not into trailer park vibes, but I didn't do it. I just unmatched him. I just unmatched him. I don't have time for that shit. He was on some old trailer park shit. I'm like, I don't like white dust. I don't like black dust, Indian dust, Native American dust. I don't like dust of any race. Okay? No, thank you. I had to let him go. I am so focused on propelling myself forward, and I love the direction of your content. Why, thank you, NR Simmons. You rock. I'm really living vicariously through your dating chronicles. Nisha, that's what I don't want y'all to do. I want y'all to I want y'all to go out. I mean, whenever you're ready, are you ready? Like, there are some ladies who have like contacted me privately who are kind of just like listening to my dating chronicles and they're like, "Oh, I'm not ready," or eventually I'm going to get around to it. I'm working on this, I'm working on that. I'll tell you what I had in mind when I decided to document my dating chronicles. What I wanted to do as a Black woman with full features, I have a full nose, I have full lips, Okay, I'm brown skinned and I have kinky hair. I'm a I'm a mother. I'm in my 30s, right? I'm everything that the manosphere says that doesn't have a chance in hell at a luxurious life. But yet I've been doing it. I've been doing it successfully for like the past like 2 years or so. So, I wanted to do that to be an example to Black women that that's not true and that you can have a great dating life. You can have fun, you can be treated well, you don't have to be getting ghosted and getting stood up and going on places and going Dutch and going to free shit, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to settle for dust. That's why I did it. So, um I want to see what I can do to get you ladies more motivated to get out there and start living your life. Like, I talked to one subscriber privately about some specific things that she can do to get better dating results. So I think some of y'all might need a little bit more hand holding. And the videos are cool for just generalized ideas, but like I think some of y'all might need a little bit more guidance, a little bit more hands on. So we'll have to see how that can look. Like, I don't know, maybe if I take on like 5 or 10 ladies at a time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm like president of the PTA. I have a business. I have the channel. Oh, and then we're doing 2 sports. And I've had to stand in coach like 2 times because of whatever, the coach wasn't there. So I have a lot going on. Plus I date. So I don't know what that could look like. Maybe just a handful of ladies who are like seriously ready to date, and we can just go step by step through your dating profile, your pictures, your bio, and like your conversation, because that's where a lot of you ladies are getting caught up on. Like, I've seen, women send me screenshots. I'm stuck. What do I say now? Or he's been chatting with me for 5 days, but he won't ask me out. So y'all need some extra help. We'll see. Y'all can write me on Instagram and tell me how you think we can do this going forward. Or if you're in the Discord, you can send me a private message on Discord too. Um, because we gotta figure this out. We gotta get y'all out here experiencing life and having fun. I take what I need from the ladies and leave what doesn't supply. What doesn't apply, that's great. I had to take a break from YouTube. It was too much going on, and I've been on Clubhouse in the money spaces. Oh, that's good. Just watch out for scammers. There's a lot of scammers on Clubhouse money spaces, so just be careful with that. Oh, you ladies are too sweet. Seriously. NR Simmons has been grinding at work, but I need to catch up on your content. Oh, whenever you get a chance, girl, to be right here for you. We don't need dust of any nations blowing this away. We're allergic to all nationalities of dust. Okay, literally, my phone is about to go dead. Okay, I need to move. I can't date in this city at all. Okay, we'll talk about that. Because we'll have to see if some of you ladies have the ability to like travel. I have no issues getting the higher caliber man, fine dating. Honestly, been there. It's just about long suitability for me. Ah, okay. Okay, beautiful. I think that at some point the goal will have to actually be picking a guy for the long term. I'm like a runaway bride. Well, he has to make an offer you can't refuse. If he makes an offer that you can't refuse, then you won't refuse it. All right, beautiful ladies. Y'all have a blessed one, and we shall connect very soon. Peace.